What's happening, podcast listeners? I'm Mitchell Torres, and this is the Combat Conversation. On this episode, we were in Gilroy, California, right after the Grappling Industry Tournament, where my friend Jesse Dicochea, who's on the show today, took second place. And it was the first time he's been on the mats in a couple of years since he broke his leg. So I kind of wanted to talk to him about that. We weren't even really going to record. This kind of happened. So we're in a restaurant. There's a lot of background noise. Sorry for that. But it was kind of interesting just hearing about the difference between then and now and him just getting better at jiu-jitsu. Also on the show was Rudy Lopez from Royal Star Inc. He's one of our sponsors on the show, the guy that makes all the custom t-shirts, a b-boy. So it was a fun conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Here you go. All right, welcome to the Combat Conversation. We're on location right now in Gilroy. I'm with Jesse Dicochea from the Butcher Shop. Rudy Lopez from Royal Star.
Yo.
And we got Seek One in the back that's camera shy right now, but soon he'll be on. All right, we had a long day. Actually, one of my friends, Jesse, who I've known for a long time and trained with for a long time, made his return to the mat today. And man, it was a great showing. The dude put some heart into it, some hard training, got down in weight. How was your experience?
It was lovely. I loved it. It's definitely not the outcome that I wanted. Obviously, I think anytime you compete, you want to get that gold. But I think in regards to getting my feet wet and going back to competition, I think I had a great experience. I think I felt comfortable on the mats, which is really important, especially leading into the next tournament, which is hopefully Master Worlds.
Right, and I just want to point something out. Jesse just came back. He actually broke his leg a few years ago, and it was a pretty bad break. So I can't imagine what it's like taking an injury like that and going through the recovery, the rehab, and then just managing to train to get to a tournament. What did that take?
A lot of mental fortitude, right? If that's how you say it. But just stay mentally strong. Even when I had the cast, I would still. I mean, you remember I'd go to Scott's where we were training at, and still get on the mats and still try to roll, then start working on my defense. I figured, if I can sharpen the defense, well, when my leg gets better, then at least, I'm a step ahead of everybody else.
Right.
But it's in regards to what does it take, to be honest, it just takes a lot of mat time. So the more time on the mats, training at Batatas, obviously, I think it excelled my game. It brought me to a new level. Then even going out there to where you're at Castillo School and doing a couple drop-ins here and there, I think fighting on the mats on a regular, I think it transferred over well to competition because when it was in the middle of that fight, it's like I've been here before. I do this shit like every day.
And it's true, you have been there before. Yeah. Rudy from Royal Star, he's out there. He made our shirts. He's a good friend. I've known him for a long time, a military vet. And what's your thoughts on going to these tournaments and watching these guys fight, especially someone you've known for a long time?
I thought it was pretty dope. I've known Jesse my whole life growing up and just seen, him grow up. Joining jiu-jitsu, seeing the changes he made in his life. I just, watching him every day, it's amazing.
Right.
So seeing him today on the mat for the first time.
And thank you for sponsoring us, man.
Yeah, no problem,
man.
Thank you for coming out here, too. It's a long way from Fresno.
I appreciate the invite.
Sure.
It was fun.
And your gear, man, is coming up, dude.
Yeah.
Nice quality stuff.
Every day I'm in the office, in the studio, practicing new techniques. I'm just always trying to get precise and make sure my work is perfect.
And it is, man. It's coming a long way. People see it and they like it,
Yeah.
Your jiu-jitsu work, though, for the shirt you made for jiu-jitsu, looks good, man. It's really good.
Yeah.
We just got to get you on the mat more,
bro.
No,
man.
We're going to bug you until you get there.
We're going to drag you out there, literally.
So, Jess, your first opponent, man, this guy was an android,
Chin.
cyborg.
Yeah, Chin, man.
This guy walked in there like a brick.
He was like
no
a walking
expression.
statue, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, he grabbed you and he didn't want to let go for shit.
Strong grips, man. And when he walked in, I knew he was in my bracket because he already looked heavy. He looked heavy and he looked mad at the roll.
Was that a natural mean mug he had going on, or what was that about?
I don't know if he just woke up. I didn't know what it was, but it was definitely scary. And I looked at him, I was like, of course, that's got to be Chin,
Right.
And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, fortunately, went against them, and I was able to get past that grip. But that grip was something definitely crazy.
Yeah, man, you guys had a good stalemate for about the first half of that match, until you realized that you could out hustle him. I think that was the difference. You guys locked up, and your strength was pretty dead even. I seen it, and then once you got the leg and you started driving, your momentum and your speed was the difference in that match.
I think so. I think the first time when I got the leg and I felt like he sprawled, right? And the fact that he sprawled, but I was still driving forward and we went off the mat, I felt like getting the leg is possible, right? So, and I think especially when you're working on that single or any sort of takedown, just grabbing the leg itself is, I mean, obviously you're leaps ahead of where you want to be. So I feel like even though the first takedown I wasn't able to accomplish it, I don't even think I accomplished the second one. But when I seen that, hey, I was able to grab it, you know, the first time, and I felt like I didn't really have a grip on it. And then the second one, I was like, okay, well, I was a little bit closer. On the third one, I was fully like hugging that leg.
How funny is it that jiu-jitsu match came down to that takedown and that brief side control? That's when you start to appreciate what jiu-jitsu was, the details of subtle movement.
Yeah,
all it took was you to get him to the ground to secure that win. But people that don't train will never understand what it took to get to that level.
Exactly. And the funny thing is I haven't been doing takedowns because obviously I injured my knee before. So that was the part that I was worried about the most. Because I knew if we hit the ground, I'm not worried about it. Like I've trained with the cast on. You know what I mean? I've trained missing one leg. So with the hurt knee, it's not going to do anything to me. I'm not worried about it. But I was like, you know what? It's a takedown. And to be honest, even when I went in, I was like, I'm gonna get taken down, but I got to scramble. That's the mindset that I went into with. And then, to be honest, it felt like it opened up and I was able to get him down, which ultimately won me the match. But it's funny how even though there's parts that you think that you're lacking in your game, they're still good enough to compete against other people that are competing. So
yeah. That's what it is, man.
It's amazing.
That's nice. And man, we were probably the loudest bunch out there cornering each other. You know, we had 4 guys out there that sound like an army.
And I appreciate it. And I can hear everybody just, chanting and telling me what to do. It was awesome.
That's nice, man. Yeah, it's that passion. And I mean, the way we cheer on the side is the way we would fight on the mat,
Of course.
You got to translate that shit. But, man, there was a lot of good matches out there. People, I mean, their no-gi matches were pretty insane.
No-gis were amazing, yeah.
And I just want to say one thing. Ruben and Victor, man, from Castle Warnick, those guys did a great job out there. Ruben hit a triangle choke, and he says he can't hit triangle chokes because he's too stocky. But you know what?
Apparently he can.
Apparently he can. He's a wrestler, man. He can do that stuff. So we're joined by Seek1 to MC. What's going on, Seek?
What's happening?
How did you feel watching your brother compete?
It was awesome. It was one of those. Excuse me. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. It was one of those things I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? As his older brother, you're kind of like, damn, he's out there really doing it. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of courage. And so I put my job on the line to go out there and watch him today. You know?
Damn, was that serious, huh?
That's serious.
Damn, that's some shit.
It's almost like you should have got the medal.
No, I did.
The real MVP.
Right. So what does that make you want to do, man? You see me, you see him out here on the mats.
It makes me want to just train more harder, continue to get more involved with all aspects of jiu-jitsu, just be more in the jiu-jitsu community with my brothers. It's a good feeling. It's something positive.
That's nice, man. That's nice. And Jess, having your friends come out support, what does that mean to you? Because a lot of people go to these matches solo bolo, you know?
It means the world to me. And like I said, the first opponent that I had, Shin, he showed up by himself, you know?
Right.
But then again, at the same time, you see somebody showing up as a Lone Ranger. I was kind of, I had that in the back of my mind. Yeah, exactly. I had that in the back of my mind. I was thinking, like, this guy's here to win it and, go home. And but in the long run, he just didn't have any friends. So, no, I'm just joking. But in regards to getting people to come out and support, it means a lot to me.
That's
and
cool, man. You had your buddy, too, from Sandro's there.
Yeah, Bazaar. Bazaar's a beast, too. So, he's going to get the next one, I'm sure. Bazaar, Twin, everybody at, Sandro Batatas. And I think I was honored to be able to go out and represent my team.
That gym, what I've seen in your game has taken you so far, man, because we still get together a lot and roll. We do one-on-ones, like 3-hour sessions. Yeah. And I see the evolution of your game, man, and you are coming along, man.
It's Batata, man. And I mean, I'm sure I'm sure from when you went from your prior gym to Casio, it stepped up. With me, as soon as, Batata just started it's having opening those master
that game. Senseis, man.
That's what it is. It's having that legit person that grew up, training, becoming a champion, and his life is jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Obviously, he serves, he has his kid and everything like that, but he knows the ins and outs, and he's He's no bullshit, no nonsense, and just having somebody like that to show you the path. It's up to you to walk in. Like he says, everybody's gonna walk their own path. I'm not here to tell you, hey, you should do this or do that. I'm just telling you what I do.
Right.
It's really up to you to take that lead, and him and Twin. It's just everybody there. Everybody, whether I roll with them once a week or 5 times a week, they all contribute to my game in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's what the team is about, Like, I have my core guys that I work with, and it might be 6 dudes that's constant. But I know what they bring to the table, and if I'm not there, I feel bad I'm not there.
Yeah.
And if they're not there, they feel bad if they're not there, So,
Exactly.
Iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah.
We got wrestlers, we got great guard pullers, we got guys that play spider guard, lasso, and I take bits from all these different places and try to put it into my game. It might not be the best fit for me, but I have a bunch of hats that I'm wearing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Rudy Lopez,
Yes, sir.
Royal Star. When are you going to come out with the whole line of jiu-jitsu stuff?
Man, I'm not sure. I'm working on some
Ooh.
designs now.
That'd be nice.
I've got some things, planned. So it's just, it's just gonna take a little bit more time to make sure it's perfect.
Right. Yeah, man,
I'm my biggest critic. That's what it is. A lot of people tell me it's perfect. It looks good, but to me, I'm like, I could be touched up a little more.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Striving for excellence, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You just
But
gotta
the only
put it
thing
out.
is, and the only thing is, you have to recognize when something is perfected.
Yeah.
You have to be like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be like, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you just moved to Fresno too, so you're settling down. You moved from the Bay Area to
Yep.
the Central Valley.
Yep.
What's that like?
Yeah, it was tough at first. I'm already getting used to it. Biggest change, I guess, is the weather.
Right. Frying
Went
egg on the floor.
Yeah, pretty much. The Bay Area, it's always nice and cool. Moving, actually, the day I moved to Fresno, it was 107. Back in the Bay, it was 88 degrees.
Damn it.
So that was a big change there. But no, I'm adapting. It's cool. I like it.
You know what? One thing I think is really cool is how far we are apart from each other, and we still manage to make time to go out here and watch each other do what we do,
Yep.
I'm in Roseville, and from the Bay Area, that's about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. I drove to the Central Valley, though, Los Baños, where I'm from. We got to represent that 209 shit, with all the homies.
Yeah.
All day, too.
So then we got, what is Fresno's area code?
Yeah, it's 559.
The
Used to be 209.
Yeah, it used to be the 209. So we got the 559, 209,
Joanina, and the 916.
408, and the 916, all in the same place. That's nice,
Yep.
man.
Nice.
All over the place.
Yep.
Man.
It always brings us back.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to keep that core of people around you,
Exactly.
No matter how far.
Yeah, I have friends that I don't talk to all the time, but when we see each other, it's like nothing,
Exactly.
You got to keep that shit. Well,
Yep.
for me, I always say true friends are family.
Mm-hmm.
And I have family members that I don't even talk to, so I don't even consider them family. It's like, if I don't have your name in my phone book,
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Exactly.
Right. So back on this conversation of competition, going into this, Jess, what was the hardest thing for you to change in your life to get onto these mats?
The diet.
Diet?
The diet.
It's always the diet, man.
The diet was so difficult. And one of my buddies, Twin, he told me, this was before I even thought about competing. This is before I went to go see them at Pan Am. So he told me, he was like, my jiu-jitsu, yeah, it's good, bro, but it's 80-20, and then so when he said that, I thought it was, it's 80% rolling, 20%, diet. He was like, no, it's 80% of how you feel your body.
Right.
The 20% is the hard work you put in. I was like, no, there's no way possible. But yeah, no, it's, huge difference. I started feeling great.
Well, you can see it, man. You look like a different person.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Weight
really
started
look at
coming
you,
off.
You're
Yeah,
a
man.
different person now.
Thank you. Yeah, I lost, I want to say 22 pounds in 3 weeks. Wow. So, and it was just clean eating. And then, that was the hardest thing.
20 pounds, people don't realize how much 20 pounds actually is, Because muscle to fat, you don't lose muscle. You don't lose 20 pounds of muscle. You lose 20 pounds of fat.
Exactly.
And 20 pounds of fat is so much bigger than 20 pounds of muscle.
It is.
Even when I lose 10 to 15 pounds, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like shit, but it really is.
Yeah.
And the way it makes you feel is something else, too. Like, just like putting your feet over your head to touch the floor, warming up. That 10 pounds will mean your toes touching the floor or not touching the floor.
Exactly. And mine just started touching the floor. Yeah. They literally just start. Now I go all the way back, feet touch the floor, and I walk them across,
Right, yeah.
both ways. And before that, it was like, it wasn't touching, So it's that weight or that diet was probably the most difficult.
What I always thought was strange about you, Jess, is that you've always been a heavier dude, but your cardio never lacked in that department. Now that you're lighter, what's the difference now between your cardio and your strength?
Well, now I feel I feel a little weaker than I normally am. But
Really?
But I think it has to do with the fact that I've been dieting so much.
Right.
So I think I got to get used to the weight, and I think I'll feel strong again once I have a couple good meals before training and things like that. But
So you didn't do any strength training going into this besides
Not at
this
all.
role? Do you plan on doing that? I
once I cut down,
Yeah.
I'm hoping to cut down and then do a mixture of both because I think it's important.
One thing about that, like we always say, people say they want to get in shape to do jiu-jitsu. We say just do jiu-jitsu. Don't worry about cutting down. Just start throwing that strength training into it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because like one thing I do, I don't do the craziest kettlebell workout, but I do enough to get me through it, and I really feel that's a big difference on my ground because
Yeah.
I'm not heavy. I'm kind of light, but
Yeah.
I feel a lot stronger than most of the guys that are my size.
You are a lot stronger than most guys your size because I roll with people your size.
Yeah.
And they don't feel as strong as you.
I contribute that to push-ups and kettlebells.
Nice.
And that's something, because I was a sick, weakly little kid growing up, real skinny. Even like going into my 21, I was still like 150 pounds, Until I tried taking muscle gainers and weight gainers. But actually, when I started doing push-ups and doing kettlebells, I seen the physique change, I was like, oh shit,
Nice.
my muscles got a little bit stronger and harder. And I noticed the difference on the mats. It's holding people down, and it's not like where I'm getting like, I'm not building lactic acid in my muscles because they're not big, they're just stronger.
Yeah.
I'm more flexible. I'm able to do things with enough strength to get out of situations.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like when push comes to shove and we start rolling, I feel pretty strong.
Oh, you are. You're
know?
strong. Dude. Your base pressure is insane.
Yeah. The only part I'm worried about is once I drop the weight, do I drop the pressure?
I don't think so. I think
Let's hope not.
I think that's
Let's hope
something that's
not.
built into your actual core.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Rudy, man, you've lost some weight,
Yeah,
man.
man. Been in the gym for the
I didn't want to
last
say nothing,
few
but I was saying
months.
Rudy needs to get in the gym. But now that you
Rudy was
lost
waiting
weight,
for
like,
that cue.
Yeah, man.
that's
the
what I'm saying.
last
50 pounds ain't much, but Rudy lost about 15 pounds. Like, it's a huge difference,
about
man.
12, 15 pounds. I'm down since the last, probably I'd say 2 months. That's really it, man.
And how do you feel with that weight off?
Oh, a lot better.
Nice.
Actually, what pushed me is kind of funny is my daughter. She just turned 7 years old, but we got her into gymnastics, man. She's like a natural at it. And she
Nice.
started wanting me to practice with her.
Well, you're kind of a natural at it.
And well, that's what I'm getting to, man. I put on some, over the years, put on some extra weight, and just seeing her. I have a breakdancing background,
Right,
so
that's what I was gonna say. So people
Yeah.
that don't know, Rudy is like a real b-boy, man. This guy. When I was younger, I used to watch the dude do shit, and I was like, "How is that even physically possible?" Man, this guy is over here. What was that one move that you called it? I was always tripping out of your
with the
I
legs,
don't
right?
think I ever had a name for it. It was just some weird shit I
the crazy
did.
legs?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
think everyone usually called it the crazy legs.
I mean, I was a youngster walking by this guy's house, popping through his window, and he's out here just breakdancing. Like, damn.
all hours of the night.
And that's why you need to get into jiu-jitsu,
Yeah, I know, man.
dude.
Hey, dash transfer over.
Yeah.
You're gonna be part of them.
Very well.
What's Eddie Bravo's crew's name? The Freaks, what do you call it?
Yeah. The freak show.
Yeah, the
Man,
freak show.
that's it right there,
Yeah.
man. That's all. When I see that shit, I'm like, that's Rudy. He just got to get in there, man.
You just gotta hop in.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, when I was in the Marines, I was stationed in Camp Pendleton next to Oceanside, and I remember going in and seeing them breaking.
Right.
And I remember I had maybe just like one little session with them guys, so it was like crazy seeing them, just knowing them as b-boys, and then getting out and then seeing them years later at Eddie Bravo. I was like,
And
what?
that's
These
excel
guys are-
at jiu-jitsu.
these fools are
And they came out of
jiu-jitsu
nowhere
now?
too. They hit the scene hard,
Yeah.
those guys, But man, those b-boys, man, especially the b-boys that are my homies, like Steve and even Gay Ray.
Yeah.
Them dudes, man, them dudes can be good.
Yeah.
They can even shake some of that bullshit off,
But they just gotta want that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta shake that bullshit, man.
Because
to keep
Gabriel's
it
not gonna
legit.
want that fight.
Right.
So
Gotta have that
Well,
fight
even
in him.
Joe was our friend Joe, man.
Yeah.
This guy, he
Lot of
could do
potential.
it. Yeah, he had a lot of potential. He was on the mats. He was like, yeah, we introduced you to the right people. Joe, come back, man. We need you on those mats.
we're waiting for you, Joe.
Man, another b-boy that needs to get on the mats. Well, he's been living on the mats. Seek, the MC.
Seek one.
Yeah, he's over
Calling
here.
Seek one to the
Seek.
mat.
So we're actually at a Michoacana restaurant in Gilroy, and he's on the side enjoying maybe
Little-
it's enchiladas. I'm not
little
sure.
dessert.
What's going on, Seek?
All right, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, b-boying and jiu-jitsu go hand in hand.
Right?
Yeah, dude.
So what do you weigh, Juan? Seriously.
When I started doing jiu-jitsu, I was 265.
And what are you right now?
I'm at 249 right now.
And you can do a headspin right now.
I can't do a headspin, but I could definitely six-step and probably do 2 windmills.
Yeah, man, that's some crazy shit, you
Yeah.
know? If people that don't know you and they see you do this shit, they're like, what the fuck? They trip out on that. They're like, how can this dude move, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, they were tripping out on it a couple weeks ago when I was at the regular gym, and it's funny you guys brought up 10th Planet Freak Show because I was watching like a couple of their videos on YouTube or whatever, and I was like, man, I want to get back into b-boying, so I started watching a couple little films.
I'm gonna say one thing: the original b-boy can't get back into b-boying because he's a b-boy.
He's a b-boy
It's in your
straight up.
shit,
I
you know?
That's like you never lose rapping or you never lose writing graffiti or any of that stuff. So no, but I went over there and like after a couple of times, like I was getting it, dude, and I could tell people were tripping. Like, where does this dude come from? But it's fun, you know.
Man, you know my buddies right here, all these guys that I have on the show, Seek, Jesse, and Rudy. These guys, man, I've known them since I was a youngster, man, and these guys have a lot of potential in everything they do, you know. So when I say like get on the mats or do what you do at making shirts or this, what people don't know about Seek's also a youth counselor, you know.
Yep.
And that shit, jiu-jitsu will only make that shit better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in there, and man, you guys, sky's the limit for you guys, you know.
Yeah, correct. I work with transitional age youth at a high school. It's like a continuation school or whatnot, but a lot of the crisis intervention or violence prevention that I do, a lot of it goes back to the beginning of the school year. I showed a video of Elio Gracie and Kimura,
Right.
and
Old school shit.
just brought it.
History.
I just broke it down, bro, to them. I actually have a painting of Kimura in my room that I did, but because you got these kids that are going through their adolescence, that want to be big and bad.
Right.
Now let me show you some dudes that are big and bad, and they didn't have to get involved in gangs or get weapons, and so a lot of them, they took a liking to the jiu-jitsu lifestyle and just what it teaches.
They like the idea.
They like the idea.
because they don't know about it unless they've been there, you know.
Yeah, there's maybe a couple, like maybe two that have trained before.
What do you mean have trained? Like have done a drop in or actually lived on the mat?
They've been on the mats a bit, but like they'll know. They know about what's going on and what's happening. So those are good
I get a little.
They could probably be on the mats a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's get back on this conversation about competition, Jess. Before we go any further, so your second match didn't go as planned, but
No.
it was a good match. Good
Thank you.
scrambles,
Thank
you know.
you.
I think when you watch the video, you'll see a lot of things that can be improved, which is a good thing because
Definitely.
you always need to improve. You always need to improve.
Win or learn.
Yeah, man, and you were just seconds. I mean, the points is whatever.
Yeah.
But literally, when push came to shove, the end was near,
Yeah.
and you almost had that dude.
I had the Kimura locked
Yeah.
up.
That one
yeah.
time, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
get
one
it.
time. I know that one
I
time.
even yelled, just pop that, just
Yeah.
go, you know?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if he was just stronger or what, but I felt like I had it, and then I tried to do it twice, and it just didn't go. Unfortunately, just the odds were not in my favor, but we'll get him next time. But yeah, definitely had that Kimura. I felt good when I locked it up too. I felt good, and then I even felt like I went to adjust it, and he didn't respect it.
Right.
When I went to adjust it, he still left his arm there, and I was like, why is he letting me actually lock up the Kimura? I was like, he's not respecting my Kimura. He's never seen my one time.
Right.
So, but yeah, unfortunately, time ran out. And it's funny because actually I was speaking to the brown belt of my academy on Thursday. And he was like, you know what, with you, he's like, great movement. He was like, great scrambles, great Kimuras. They actually call me Jesse Kimura. So
Really? Did they?
yeah. Twins like Jesse Kimura. So he's like, the one thing about you that I will tell you going into this tournament, he's like, the only enemy you're gonna have in there is the clock.
Right.
He's like, because when the push comes to shove, you can roll all day. He was like, but you gotta speed it up.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had to change in my game is the time. So before I'd always go for the finish. Now I'm like playing this point game, which it doesn't bother me because now I figured out how to get there and how to do it, But at first it was just go for the finish. Now I'm like waiting there. I'll wait out. I'll get a knee on belly and I'll dig that shit in and wait for them to physically break before I advance, And I'll look at the clock more. And luckily I haven't been in a situation where I had to like kind of rush it, But your next tournament coming up, what's gonna be different?
It's gonna be a couple things that are gonna be different. Cardio, first and foremost.
Did you feel tired?
Running a little bit more. I felt tired during the first one, and then I felt tired I felt tired during. You know what? Actually, correction. I felt tired during both of them during stand-up.
Right.
That's what it was. But as soon as they hit the ground, as soon as it was scrambles, I was in my zone. I knew when to breathe. I knew how to breathe. I knew how to push forward. But that's gonna be the main difference. That and that's pretty much it. I would like to say that I'm gonna go in there mentally stronger, but I wasn't mentally weak going into this one. So in regards to what's gonna change, the ideal situation is me having like a full camp and training 100%. Up until the week before, whereas this one I had to pretty much stop rolling 2 weeks prior. So and I think that's huge, especially when it comes to timing, because if you miss a day here, I mean even a week there from class, your timing's the first thing to go.
So the next tournament that I think you're thinking about doing is probably the Master Worlds, right?
Yes, sir.
So that will be in August, so about 2 months away, I believe.
Yeah, but I think you were saying something about June 9th in Elk Grove.
Yeah, Elk Grove. Do you want to do anything outside of these basic rule tournaments? Maybe submission only.
I'm thinking about submission only, and I think it's because it plays into my skill set. Usually with people as big as me, we don't really have the cardio to roll 30 minutes to roll 40 minutes.
You mean people that were as big as
or as big as me? Yeah, exactly. And the fact that I'm okay rolling an hour, I'm okay rolling 40 minutes. I want to be able to do that because I feel like my defense is so good that I don't necessarily go into a tournament or even just at an open mat or even at the gym. I don't go in somewhere thinking like I'm gonna get tapped out or anything like that.
Right.
So I think the good thing with the way I roll is I feel like I can wait some people out, maybe just drag them out to deep waters. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't want to roll for 40 minutes because nobody wants to do that, especially if I have another match. But I want to be able to, test your will. I want to test your heart, and then guess what? Here comes that one time. So ideally, yes, I want to venture out to maybe a submission only.
So all these tournaments now, there's tournaments popping up left and right. A bunch of super matches, super fights they call them, where it's one match. Do you think about doing stuff like that? I mean, I know I look into it. Is that something you would think about? It's one match, a longer time frame, different score setting, different points.
Yeah, and I think it's.
Do you think you would do better at a tournament like that? Well, it's not a tournament because it's one match.
Not necessarily, because I think I get warm after so many minutes. I think I'm warm, and I think if you give me one match for 6 minutes, I think I'm going to be cold the first 3.
Right.
But I would love to give it a shot. I would love to be able to give it a shot and see how I do, because, I mean, if you can go do a marathon roll every Saturday and you can put in hours on the mats, and somebody tells you, hey, you got 6 minutes to give it all, I don't think you're going to get tired. You're not going to cramp up. It's just that's when everybody's going to go 0 to 100, and we're going to see what we have in regards to your skill set versus my skill set. 6 minutes. We'll see who gets who.
All right. So before I wrap up this section on the tournament and everything, before we just get into some free talk, your end game in jiu-jitsu, Jess, what is it?
Train as much until I die. And I know it kind of sounds like a little crazy, but I think our time is short. And I want to see how far I can go with it. I don't think I'm going to be like, obviously, a world champion. I'm not going to go to ADCC or anything like that. But I think it contributes a lot to my life, my lifestyle. I used to be, obviously, way heavier than I am now. We used to drink a lot. You remember?
Right. Oh, yeah.
You were there. So I was pre-diabetic at one time. You know what I mean? And even the doctor was like, hey, you got to watch what you eat, things like that. And I didn't watch what I ate. Instead, what I did was I started training more and more and more. And then when I went back, he was like, you're 100% healthy. And it's not me cleaning up my diet. It's the more I train, you know? So in regards to the end game is realizing that jiu-jitsu is a puzzle that I'll never figure out completely, because guess what? The puzzle, just like me, is forever evolving.
Right.
And so my whole thing is figure out as much of the puzzle as I possibly can, pass on the baton when I can no longer do it, and let the pieces fall where they fall.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great. You know what? I want to thank you guys for coming out. Jess, I want to thank you for performing, because you did a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All the hard work went into a medal. Think about that. You got the medal. You went out there and you beat somebody he was tough. The dude was tough.
He was.
And you got the upper hand. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Hey, Seek, thanks for coming out. Always great to hang out with my brother.
Anytime.
And Rudy, thank you for the t-shirts. I appreciate that too.
No problem, man.
And the
Anytime.
photography. So before we wrap this up, where can we reach you at, Rudy?
You can reach me via email. It's Rudy@RoyalStarInc. So it's RoyalStarInk. And also via Instagram or Facebook.
Hit that guy up, man, because I know a lot of people out there have companies that they need stuff, man. They need T-shirts. He makes cups and stuff. Put your logo on a cup, look legit, man.
Yep.
And get some great quality stuff too, because his stuff is top of the line. I'm not lying. Fast turnaround. So get there, guys. Hit him up. And Jesse, where can we find you?
You can just add me on Facebook, Instagram, JessLoke209 or 209.
You need to put some more training videos up there, though, man.
I do. And then as far as Facebook, just Jesse Dicochea. And then if you ever want to come do a drop-in, open invite, the butcher shop, San Roposada in Campbell. Stop by.
Nice. And Seek, what's up, man?
What up?
The social media ghost.
Yeah, I'm a social media ghost. I don't really have them, but you're always welcome to stop by Scott Savage's in LB. I'm on the mats over there.
Nice. All right, guys. That concludes this episode. Today's podcast is brought to you by Royal Star Inc. Custom T-shirts. Hey, guys, do you ever go out looking for T-shirts, but you can't find what you want? Or maybe you have an idea of something you want to put on the T-shirt? Or does your team not look like a team because you guys are wearing old logos, mismatching, different colors? That's not a good look. But Rudy at Royal Star Inc. got you covered. Hit them up for quality T-shirts, custom designs, fast turnarounds. They look great. They feel great. For sure, you've seen me rocking their gear before, and I'm going to tell you some of the best stuff I have. Follow them on Instagram at Royal Star Inc.